So we got the chef. There's not a man more qualified on the planet to talk about the pairing with this Cabernet, the Fumé Blanc we were drinking, and you guys are also pouring the Pinot tonight, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, we're pouring all reserved here in the vineyard room tonight for the VIP reception here at the film festival. So we're going, as far as the food goes, we're going from light to heavier, as far as flavors and as far as the wines go as well. So at the front here, we're doing 2 dishes with the Fumé Blanc Reserve. The first one is poached Maine lobster with a navel orange and lemongrass jelly and chervil, and there's a little bit of herb and a citrus vinaigrette, which the lobster is tossed in as well. And then this one is wild mushroom and goat cheese crostini with truffle oil and chives. So these 2 dishes, they, I don't know, how long can you hold this? Yeah, get in there, get in there.
They want to take pictures.
So the 2 dishes, they showcase different things in the Fumé Reserve. So the lobster dish picks up on the citrus notes in the wine. You know, this wine is real. It's real bright. It's real fruity. You know, it's a young wine, so it's got just a lot of upfront fruit. And the mushroom, I think, picks up on the oak aging. You know, the Fumé Blanc, it's a Sauvignon Blanc style wine, but it's aged in oak for a couple of months. And I think there's like a nuttiness in the dish through the like umami flavor from the mushrooms that I think sort of pulls that out of the wine. The goat cheese ties it into the sort of the light white wine character, and it adds acid to the dish, which helps it balance with the wine. So
this looks like a crouton.
Well, yeah, a crouton, crostini, you know, what have you, and it's mushroom and goat cheese on top. So
okay.
But yeah, dive in there, man.
All
right, so here, these 2 dishes are paired with the Pinot Noir Reserve. This one is a duck confit crepe that has pears, daikon radish, scallions, arugula, and a pear vinaigrette. It's essentially a salad rolled up in a crepe. Duck confit is real sort of silky, it's rich but not heavy, and it sort of mirrors some of the characteristics in the wine. You know, the Pinot is, it's very flavorful, but it's not like a huge wine. You know, it's delicate, it's got some, you know, some subtlety to it, and so duck is a really nice pairing with the Pinot. Give it a shot. And then the pear, you know, it's a seasonal fruit. It's, you know, it's got some nice acid to it from the vinaigrette. So this one is roasted sunchokes. We pulled these out of our garden a couple days ago. Sunchokes, they're also called Jerusalem artichokes. It's a tuber in the sunflower family, so when you grow them, they grow underground, and I just have this field of giant sunflowers, and people are like, what are those? Are they sunflowers? I'm like, well, they're sunflowers, but we're growing them for the root, for the sunchokes. They've got a real sort of light, crisp texture. It's garnished with romesco sauce, which is a traditional Spanish sauce made with roasted peppers, almonds, garlic, olive oil, sherry vinegar, and it adds sort of not a richness, but it adds a little bit of sort of a zestiness to the sunchokes that I think goes well with the wine. You know, this wine can take a little bit of spice, the Pinot, so I think the romesco goes well with that, and it's garnished with micro arugula.
So when the folks here come to you and say, Chef, we need you to do 6 pairings with these 3 wines, how do you approach that? What is your process?
Yeah, so it's interesting here. I mean, before coming here to Mondavi, I was always in restaurants, and it's almost the opposite of a restaurant approach. As a restaurant chef, you make a dish, however you want to make it, you know, whatever the flavor profile you're going for, you know, based on the season and ingredient you're getting from purveyor that's fantastic, whatever. And then you choose a wine off your wine list, consult your sommelier, you know, and you pick the wine. But here at Mondavi, my job is to make food that shows the wines well. So I take it from the other perspective. I take the wine first, and I try this wine, and I say, what's going to make this wine sing? What's going to make it better? You know, what's going to really show it to its fullest potential? So that's what I try and do.
Beautiful.
The last 2 are Cabernet pairings. So the first one is a flat iron steak. Maybe an underrated cut. You know, flat iron, it's from the front shoulder. It's a real flavorful cut. And you know, when cooked the right way and cut the right way, it's very tender. We're serving it with wild mushrooms, which are just a natural cab and steak pairing. There's a little bit of a beef jus, some micro tatsoi, and then on the bottom is pesto.
Okay.
So pesto is one of those things. It's I got it from a friend of mine, Andrea Emmer, who's you know, like a wine goddess, and she, it's like an aha moment. You know, the pesto, like you wouldn't think that pesto, like a sort of an herbal kind of condiment would go well with cab, but it really does. It's, you know, the pine nuts add nuttiness, the parm adds an umami flavor into it, and the fresh basil flavor really works well with the wine.
Nice.
The other one is braised lamb shoulder, and it's on ratatouille. So we're in November now, and we've just basically pulled the end of the summer garden here. We have a sizable garden that we get a lot of the vegetables, all the herbs. So we pulled out squash, eggplant, peppers, tomatoes, you know, sauteed them up and braised the lamb, and then on top there's a little bit of an olive jus. I think this this cab has some olive notes in it, so I think it goes well in that respect. And then the gremolata on top is a sort of it's an herb condiment made with olive oil, lemon zest, garlic, and a couple herbs. It's got parsley, chives, and marjoram. You know, one important thing with pairing food and wine is to have acidity in your dish. So the lemon zest adds an acidity that sort of cuts through the richness of the braised lamb, which helps it sort of bring it in balance with the wine. So.
Beautiful. Are you a big wine drinker yourself?
I enjoy a glass of wine.
You do?
Sure, yeah.
And what's your favorite bottlings here at Mondavi?
My favorite wines here at Mondavi?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's hard to say. I really, they make really nice wines, really food-friendly wines. You know, the Fumé Blanc Reserve is a fantastic wine that is a nice wine pretty much anytime. The Pinot goes really well with lots of different kinds of food. You know, lots of food that you might cook at your house. You know, things like pastas, stews, soups, stuff like that. The Cab is a much bigger, more robust wine that is either probably best with like a rich dish or sort of on its own. And then there's lots of other sort of specialty wines. We make a really nice unoaked Chardonnay, a nice rosé. They all sort of have their place.
And you evaluate them all through food.
Yes. Yeah, I evaluate them sort of on their own and then think about how they would go well with food. So, yeah.
Wouldn't want it any other way. Chef, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Enjoy
Chef
the
Jeff
evening.
Mosher. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Thank
Cheers.
you.